Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Sitting here. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Oh, this is choking me. It's choking me. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Oh, it's hot. Okay, I don't know if this can be seen. All right. All right, so I am making this video today. Today is day 366, which means that I completed 365 days of the commitment that I set out to do, and that was to dance for 365 days and to become the best version of myself in the process. Now I'm chuckling and laughing because when I set out to do this, I did not realize that it was gonna be hard as heck. It was, whew! I mean, it was not easy. It was a struggle. I mean, you know, but I completed it, and I'm I am proud of myself. I haven't done an update video in a really long time because I was going through the mud. Let me tell you, I was going through some mud, like mud, you know, dirt, you know, and I was listening to something yesterday. I listen every day to a podcast or something on YouTube, an inspirational speech every day. It's like my coffee. That's what that is like my coffee. And I was listening to something yesterday by Steve Harvey, who was saying that, you know, if you want to plant something, you don't just put the seed on concrete because, you know, it'll burn up and the seed will go away. But what you do is you dig a hole and you put the seed in it, and then you throw dirt on it and you water it, and you throw dirt. And so I think what happens is, you know, when we get dirt thrown on us, you know, we can tend to like, oh, it's not working, I'm gonna just stop, you know. There were many times where I wanted to stop and I wanted to give up, and anyhow, I didn't. I literally pushed through. And if I could say one thing that I learned from this process is that, okay, so I said that I wanted to the intention was to become a master in salsa dancing. And 365 days have passed and I'm here. Have I become a master in salsa dancing? No, I have not. Because I feel like to become a master, it just takes dedication in, I guess, lifelong learning. And so I am, however, I will say that what I added on to the intention was that I wanted to become the best version of myself. And when I set that intention, I thought, oh, I'm gonna just put the best forward, all the best of me is gonna come forward. Well, in order to have that come about, I needed to go through a lot of, you know, I needed to uncover all of the dirt and all of the things that I had swept under the rug, you know, and that all came. And there's more, you know, and I was listening again to something this morning about the subconscious mind, and wow, there's a lot in the subconscious mind, you know, of old beliefs, outdated systems that, you know, just are there for a reason, but don't serve, and they hold us back. And so for me particularly, I had to deal with, you know, issues of worthiness and, you know, who am I to do this, you know, eating disorder. That's something that I had never really discussed. You know, body image issues came up, you know, because we think about a dancer and a professional dancer, at least my vision of a professional dancer was, you know, as someone, you know, beautifully trim and, you know, fit and, you know, perfect athletic ballet body, and that's, you know, something that I don't have. Like, everyone has different body types, and I had to really learn And I'm still learning to embrace and accept my body the way it is, you know. And while I have come a long way in terms of accepting and embracing my body, it is still something that I struggle with. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I struggle with it. You know, there's days where I wake up and I'm like, I feel fat today, or for whatever reason, you know, I'm like, is that mine? Is that something that where did that come from? And I can just say that living here in this country, I live in India. And I've been here for a year now. Living here in India has opened my eyes to what is most important in the world, in terms of what we do in the world and what I do in the world. You know, I came here by myself, and you know, I had this goal, very personal goal, you know, to master salsa dancing and practicing every day. And as a result, I also saw the daily lives of others, you know, of people with no food, they don't even have shoes, children that don't have parents, or their parents are too poor to take care of them, so they leave them in what's called a group home, orphanage. Animals that live on the street every day and are hungry. And so I had to really, you know, come to terms with, well, what is important? How is this goal of mine, dancing for 365 days, how is this, you know, going to make an impact? And so as a result, I said, how can I combine my passion for dancing with helping others? And so we, you know, together with the help of artists and the people that I know, we created an event called Salsa for Strays, and it raised money to be able to help stray animals and build a future sanctuary. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to, you know, we have to be realistic, and so planted a seed. And so with this next year, with this next, you know, day, what I'm doing is I'm hitting a reset button. I'm hitting the reset button to dance for another 365 days, and to also make a contribution in the best way that I can, and that is to help animals and to help children. And through this gift and this love and passion of mine that I have of dancing, and in addition becoming the best version of myself, I think that it's not something that you figure out overnight. It's not something that you even figure out in a year, because with every new experience and with every new thing that happens, you learn something valuable about the world, about people, about how, you know, things work, and how deeply I think what we want to do in life, at least personally, is we want to make a difference. We make a difference. And I think if I could just show you that this journey, this year, it wasn't like just like a walk in the park. It was not like, oh, you know, smooth. It was like this. I mean, the valleys. I probably experienced more valleys than peaks, honestly. Valleys, literally valleys, where I was like, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna make any more videos. I'm done. Yeah, you know, and the peaks is, you know, that's what you got to see, you know, often. But the valleys, I mean, it was like having to work through mud, especially the last 2 months. For me, the last 2 months is like, you know, the last stretch of the marathon. You know, the last stretch of the marathon. And I can remember a time when I actually ran a marathon. It was my first marathon, first and only. So far, I'm gonna run another one. But I ran a marathon, and I was at mile 19. My legs were shaking. They were like this. And I remember, you know, I couldn't even feel my legs. They were numb. And I was just like, oh my God, I have to stop because my legs are going to give out. And I was 22. 22 years old, just graduated from college. And a woman came by and she gave me a packet of this ointment and she said, put that on your knees. And so I kept running. I was still like, running. And I put it on my knees and it felt a little better, but it's still like, I was like, oh, it was just, And then I looked over to the left and I looked over to the right and I saw these people holding signs because this was a marathon for AIDS, to help people with AIDS research and things. And I saw a woman holding a sign and she looked like she had tears out of her eyes and it said, "Thank you, you are our hero." And as soon as I saw that, I literally just, tears welled up in my face as I almost started, was crying. I was overwhelmed by this emotion. And after seeing her and seeing people cheering in the audience and the crowd on the sides as the runners were running, I just said, I'm gonna go. This is not for me anymore. And so I turned the focus on others. And that got me through. And that's kind of what I did as well. I mean, yes, this is for me because I really want to be a master in dancing, but ultimately, if I'm just dancing by myself, that's not going to make a difference. I mean, yeah, it's nice. I love dance, and that's what I do every day is I dance and I see how I can become better. I watch videos, I get inspiration, But to dance by yourself, to dance and share others and to teach them and to make a difference some way, I think that is what, for me, is what keeps me going. So for this next next year, 365 days, I am hitting the reset button. I'm going to continue to document my journey. As a matter of fact, I'm creating a documentary, and it's in the process, and I will update about that soon. So thank you for your support this whole year, and this whole journey. I really thank you, and I'll be sharing more, updating more, and please join me on the journey. The path to becoming the best version of yourself, I definitely think it's not something you can do in a year or 2 years or 3. I think it's every day. It's like that onion. It's like, peeling the layer. Okay, you're peeling the layer to realizing how magnificent you are and that you can create so much in the world. I think it's a journey. And always remembering, something that I heard Danielle Laporte say is that, I'm not broken and there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to improve. I think we as a culture can say, I need to get better at this. I need to get better. I need to improve. I need to, and for me, it's been a reminder of like, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to, I don't need to improve. Yeah, there's a difference between believing that you're broken, that you need, something's wrong with you, versus, okay, yes, growing. Yes, absolutely, I'm all about growth. But also knowing that you're okay. You're okay. I'm okay. And tapping into, okay, if I'm okay, how can I help others realize they're okay as well? How can I make a difference? Because others need you. We need each other. So thank you so much, and I look forward to being on this journey with you. Thoroughly enjoy today, because today is the day you're alive, I'm alive. My blessings and your love. Thank you. See you on the next video.